So my name is Becca YogaBex Cummings. I'm coming to you live from the All About Woo HQ in Austin, Texas. And today is all about cleansing, or all about doing a cleanse. And if you want, you can drop in the comments if you're tuning in live. And hey, good to see you. It's been a little while. If you're done a cleanse, put a 1. If you're thinking about doing a cleanse, you can put 4. Okay, so 1 if you've done a cleanse, 4 if you're thinking about doing a cleanse, and an 8 if you've done a cleanse and you're thinking about doing a cleanse. Okay, so 1 if you've done a cleanse, 4 if you're thinking about doing one but haven't done one in the past, and an 8 if you've done one in the past and you're thinking about doing another one. Okay, so what is cleansing? What is cleansing? So cleansing or detoxing it's considered an alternative medicine treatment these days. And the aim is to rid the body mind of toxins that have accumulated and that are having short-term and long-term adverse effects. Toxins including heavy metals, just sludge, the things that need to be eliminated from the body, byproducts of digestion, byproducts of living, of breathing, of pollution, chemicals in our food, color in the food, added sugars, as well as parasites. Believe it or not, sometimes you can have like weight issues or even sugar cravings because of parasites, or sugar cravings in particular because of candida overgrowth. And candida is the, you always are going to have candida in your gut. It's part of your being. It's part of your gut microbiome. I did a training a few weeks ago on the gut microbiome. I guess it was a couple months ago now. This summer, I did a training on that, so I'll pop that in the comments after this Livestream is over, or in the YouTube feed. I'll put it in the comments or the description of the video. So it's a natural way of cleaning your house. Just imagine for a moment if you never cleaned your house or your room, what it would be like in there. How about your bathroom? What if you never cleaned your bathroom? Gross, right? So that's why cleansing regularly is helpful, because just like, in your home, in your bathroom, in your home, whatever, in your room, dust and, debris accumulates. And so we want to do the same thing for our home, our current home, which is our body. And so it also helps stuck energy to move. And stuck energy often translates... What are you doing, Roscoe? Stuck energy... Oh no, I think we have somebody in the wall or on the house. It's not the dog. I was trying to blame the dog. Stuck energy, stagnant energy, expresses itself through sensation in the body, and that can express as pain. Pain is extreme sensation, right? It can express itself as dis-ease, diseases, or just baseline low-level inflammation. And many, medical professionals agree that having a low-level inflammation going on all the time, chronic inflammation, sets the foundation for any number of diseases to manifest. Okay, so it's really important to reduce inflammation and cleanse and remove these toxins, heavy metals, parasites, byproducts of, just living from your body mind. And I say body mind because we're in the physical, but we also have a lot of metaphysical elements, the mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic elements that we want to cleanse as well. So why else would you want to cleanse? The Oftentimes our issues, our mental issues even, can get stuck in our tissues. Let me give you an example. So years and years ago when I was in college, I went through a rape trauma, and I did EMDR therapy with a therapist to, dissociate from it and heal it. EMDR therapy is where you're moving your eyes side to side, or you're tapping your hands, or there's buzzers in your hands that are alternately buzzing. And so I basically, thought I was done with it. And I was in a yoga class, and we were doing a guided relaxation with rotation of consciousness through the body, where they named different parts of the body, like the forehead, chin, chest, rib cage, etc. And they said palm of the left hand. And as soon as they said that area of the body, I was immediately back in the event, in the rape trauma event. Okay, so I was storing it. It was still, there was residue in my hand. Okay, so once I knew that, then I could do something about it. But we store past trauma in the physical body. And so by cleaning our house regularly, I like to do seasonal cleanses. I did my first cleanse back in 2010, and then I've done them pretty regularly since. But by cleaning our house, we can help remove some of the residue and everything that's just stored in the map of our experiences, which is our physical vessel, our physical body. And let's see, you'll notice when you do a cleanse, during and especially after, you'll notice improvements in a lot of areas of your experience. Your sleep will likely improve. Your weight, whether you need to, depending on what type of cleanse you're doing. The cleanses that I do with people, you actually build muscle, because I don't want to lose all this muscle I've worked so hard for. So you'll either gain weight if you need to gain weight. Most people need to lose weight, right? Sometimes it's the last 5 or 10 pounds. It's just like, oh, if I could just lose that 5 or 10 pounds, right? Inflammation, that low-level chronic inflammation I was talking about, right? Pain. Do you have recurring pain or chronic pain? Let's see, what is the energy, your energy levels. Are you low energy? Do you get fatigued easily? Do you feel tired? Do you have to use stimulants to, get your energy up and moving? And depression, right? Depression or moods, depressed state, sadness, that can relate to low energy too, right? And digestion, what a big topic that has been in the past 5-10 years, right? With probiotics and everything. Everybody knows what a probiotic is now. It seems like back, 5-10 years ago, people didn't know what that was. So there's different types and styles of cleansing and detoxing. And we're going to talk about those, the ins and outs of those, and precautions that you should take, as well as pre and post cleanse considerations. And then I'll share an opportunity for you to look at the cleanse. I'm leading a group transformation called Fall into Balance Group Transformation. It starts Saturday, September 25th. I have a Zoom info session this Saturday, the 11th, and I'm going to be posting in our tribe more about that later today. So that's what we have on board for today. So let's talk about the types and styles of cleanses out there, detoxes. And basically think of it in regard to the schedule and the content. So like what you're taking in and when you're taking it in, okay? So for most cleanses, so there's fasting, right? There's fasting, and then there's eating clean and green, which fasting would be you can do a water fast where you're only drinking water for days at a time. Do not recommend that. And I should give you my disclaimer that I am, a holistic health practitioner, coach, trained, whatever, but I am not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. These are suggestions. This is an offering. So take it into your own being, see how it feels for you, consult your your doctor, your alternative doctors, guides, practitioners, okay? So you can do a water fast. You can do the master cleanse. What is the master cleanse? The master cleanse is like a lemonade, a spicy lemonade juice that you make. And for 10 days, that's all you're taking in. Water and the lemonade that you make. And the way you make the lemonade is 8 ounces of water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and a 1/16 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And you mix that up and you drink one. And you drink 6 of those today or up to 18 of those a day. One of those has 682 calories. Do you think there's any protein in there? Do you think there are any fats? It's all carbohydrate, it's all sugars. So 100% of your calories are coming from sugar. You will lose weight on the master cleanse. You detox quickly. You're not eating any food, liquids only, water, and this lemon drink. The cons are that you lose muscle. Your body's just going to eat up that muscle. You'll lose fat too, but you lose that muscle. You tend to have low energy on that cleanse, and it's a quick fix. It slows your metabolism down, which consequently then when you start eating real food again, you tend to gain the weight back, okay? Because your metabolism gets whacked, gets out of whack, gets wonky. No fat, no protein, pretty much sugar, calories only. So pros are it tastes good if you don't mind, like a little spice, a little kick to it. And, you can drink as many anytime you get hungry, you just mix up one of your drinks and you drink that. And again, the pros, you will lose weight and you'll lose muscle too, but you'll lose weight. So if you're wanting to lose weight fast, you don't care if you gain it back afterwards, you don't care if, your metabolism gets whacked out, that could be an option for you. So we have water cleanse, we have the master cleanse, which is that lemon drink. Then we have what are called juice fasts, juicing. And juicing is where you get a juicer, and it's a big hulky machine, and you put in, say, spinach, apples, celery, turn it on, you put your cup. It's kind of like a Keurig, but it, spits out fresh raw juice. And what it does is it separates the fiber, the bulk of the spinach, apple, celery, whatever you put in there. Ginger would be another good one. And it just squeezes out the juice from the plants and the fruit, from the vegetables and fruit. And then you drink that. I had a juicer for a while, and that's what I used when I did my very first cleanse. I was healing from like numerous disorders and diseases. I was working with a naturopath. I had precancerous leukemia, polycystic kidney disease, fibromyalgia, and quite a few other things going on. And so I was following a very strict eating protocol. I could have like half an apple a day. I could have half a cup of rice, maybe once or twice a week. A little bit of, chicken, maybe once or twice a week, like 4 ounces. But it was mostly vegetables, a little bit of fruit, and a lot of supplements and homeopathics and juicing. Okay, so in order to get an 8-ounce cup of juice, I would have to spend, $15 to $18 on produce to get a little cup of juice. So it's not, it can be kind of costly to do a juicing fast where you're only drinking water and you're juicing the vegetables and the fruits, it can be costly unless you know, do it like I do now, which if I'd only had this then, this is what I use now, and I'll tell you more about this at the end here in a moment. And so juice fasting can be very helpful for, again, quickly losing weight. You're going to have a little bit more variety. It's not just sugar that you're taking in because you're going to have vegetables that you're juicing as well. Okay, so you will get some protein. Some you probably want to add, I would take a tablespoon of coconut, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil a day too, was the fat that I was bringing in. So you might also bring in a little bit of fat, but you might lose some muscle. You will alkalize, make your body more alkaline. I can't say that word. Because most of us are, are in the more acidic realm. You can get these little pH strips at the, like probably get them at Whole Foods or something, or for sure on Amazon, right? And you can get ones that either you can put in urine or, pee on or use saliva on. I just get the tongue strips and stick it on your tongue, in the morning or something, and see they have like a color spectrum, and you see where am I on this chart of alkalinity versus acidity. Okay, right now I'm running more acidic than I would like. I'm kind of in that greenish realm, and I'd rather be further back over more alkaline. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this cleanse this fall, and I'm inviting others to join me on this 30-day journey. It's going to be amazing. So that's the juicing fast. Okay, then you can also do a smoothie fast. So the juicer separates the fibrous plant material from the juice of the plant. Smoothie fast would be you take a blender and you put the spinach, apple, celery in, and you blend it up, and then you're getting the fiber as well. Okay, and that has its benefits as well. Okay, but still not depending. Well, you can add like some protein sources, right? You can add some chia seeds, some ground flax seeds. Flax seeds are hard to digest, so you want to get like flaxseed powder, or take a mortar and pestle and grind up your flax seeds, because if you just put the flax seeds in, they just go right through you, and your digestive system can't break down that shell around the flax seed. Same thing is true, not that you're going to go eating avocado seeds, but the big pit in the avocados, evidently the only animal back in the ice age that could digest those pits was the mastodon, which kind of looked like a mammoth. A little bit different, but kind of looked like a mammoth. So crush up your flax seeds if you're putting flaxseed in for your protein. You could do walnuts. Walnuts are a great source of omega-3s and protein as well. Low fat. Healthy fats. You can do, so those are your fasts, right? Water, the master cleanse, which is the cayenne pepper, lemonade, maple syrup drink, lemon juice drink. Juicing, where you're juicing your fruits and veggies. Smoothie fast, where you're making smoothies, so you're getting the fiber as well. Then you can do a fruit only cleanse, where you're just eating fruit, whether that's smoothies and or like chewing it. You can do a raw food only cleanse, where you're doing a mix of those things: juicing, smoothie, raw salads. Okay, so nothing cooked. Or you can do a mixture of any of those elements, right? And one thing to consider is some of you might have heard of this, but there is this approach that's really been popularized lately, is intermittent fasting. And what intermittent fasting is you're already doing it at some level, because you go to sleep at night, okay, and then you eat while you're awake, right? So intermittent fasting is where you're fasting, you're only drinking water, you're not eating anything, say past, 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. at night, and then the next day you have a certain time in the morning where you start taking in nutrients again. And what that does is it gives your body a window of time to digest the food and process things and digest what's there, and then have a rest. So your digestive system gets a rest, and then you start bringing food back in for it to work on. So intermittent fasting can have huge benefits as well. And you can do intermittent fasting, again, a mixture of all those different options I talked about. There's also an Ayurvedic approach to cleansing. Ayurveda, Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga, very ancient science from the Vedic texts and Indian traditions, Hindu traditions. And the Ayurvedic approach is where you eat with the seasons, and you eat in regard to your particular dosha. We all have a dosha, which is made up of you're some combination of earth, fire, and air. And when we're born, when we're babies, we have a lot of that earth element, more little chubbiness maybe, right? And so then as you grow older, you have more of the fire element, more movement, more activity. And then as you age, you start to dry out and you get into that air element. So everybody kind of naturally goes, predominantly earth, or more earth than others. And there's a dosha quiz that you can take. I'll see if I can find one and put the one in the comments after this is over. It's really fascinating. And Ayurvedic approach includes dairy. It includes meats as well. It's, broad spectrum eating, but you eat in cycles with the seasons, and you eat in regard to your particular dosha. Because someone who is very kapha or earth element, they might need more fiery foods or more airy foods. Someone that's airy, like the air signs or zodiac signs, might need more grounding foods. Okay, so like pastas, grains, heavier dairy, or things like that. Okay, root vegetables. So let's talk about some precautions. I think that's all I had for you on those different types of cleanses. Oh, there's one more approach that I want to mention that some of you probably know about. It's called the Gerson Therapy. Max Gerson came up with this approach to help his daughter heal. And now his daughter is a big proponent and has clinics in Mexico where people can come, and these are terminal patients come there, like patients that are told, go home, get your affairs in order, we can't do anything else for you. They go to the Gerson clinic and they heal through this approach. Okay, it's a raw food diet, and it's organic raw vegetables, some fruit, low sugar fruit like high water content, watermelon, blueberries, apples, things like that. And get this, coffee enemas. You actually do a coffee enema. So you get a little enema, contraption set up, whatever. You make some coffee and you send it up, send it up the channel, and it cleans you out. Okay. You're not drinking coffee, you're drinking water, maybe some herbal teas, things like that. But it's really, really effective for people, really effective. So many terminal patients have turned things around with the Gerson therapy. So I did want to mention that. Some other natural detoxers, just drink more water. I say to myself, drink more water, just drink more water. That will help flush things out. Drink hot, or a cup of hot or warm water, called my ancestors called that silver tea. Just heat up some water, drink it plain, or put a little squeeze of lemon in there. Another detoxer is apple cider vinegar, which, by the way, also is a natural mosquito repellent. Not that you want to put that on your skin because then you smell kind of vinegary and ugh, or unless you like that. But if you take like a tablespoon a day in the summer, then your body emits something that the mosquitoes don't like. It's not like 100%, but it does help. You can do oil pulling. Oil pulling, that's an Ayurvedic cleanser, where you take a spoonful of coconut oil and you put it in your mouth first thing in the morning before you brush your teeth, before you drink anything. Get your coconut oil, put it in your mouth, swish it around 5 to 20 minutes. Okay? Anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. If you get too much in there, there's too much going on, just spit a little bit out. You do not want to swallow it. Do not swallow it. Don't spit it down your sink either. Spit it in the garbage can because it can clog up your sink. Okay? So because a lot of gunk accumulates in the mouth overnight, and it really can help improve the health of your teeth, gums, breath, everything. The other thing you can do is to help naturally detox is first thing in the morning, again, before you drink anything, before you brush your teeth, is get you can just use a spoon. And you know how we normally use a spoon, you're going to turn it the other way and just scrape your tongue. There's going to be like a coating on your tongue, and just gently scrape it, or you can get like this U-shaped metal tongue scraper thing that you just run over your tongue a few times, rinse it off, wash it off, and then you can brush your teeth and drink and eat and stuff. Another natural detoxer is green tea. So you can have a stretch of time where you phase out coffee and you bring in the green tea, because that has a lot of health benefits, including antioxidants. You can replace a meal with a green drink or a smoothie, right? Neti pots. Neti pots are great for cleansing the sinuses. Neti pot is a little ceramic pot with a spout, and you put warm water in and a little bit of sinus salt that's appropriate to run through your sinuses, because you're going to pour. You turn your head to the one side and stand over the sink, and then you take this little pot and you stick the spout in your nose and you start tipping it up, and the water pours in and you feel it going up into this sinus and down through this sinus, because there's these lacy bone cavities right here, right? And it's just removing gunk that you've breathed in, mucus. So you do it one side, about half the pot, and then kind of it's really gross, like blow your nose in the sink, and then you go the other way, blow your nose in the sink, and then you'll have, stuff draining for a little while. But I used mine yesterday because we're having like a lot of dust and just kind of fall stuff was making me congested, and it made such a difference. So neti pot is a natural way to detox. Cutting out added sugars, just doing that can be amazing. It improves your gut health, and it helps reduce that candida overgrowth. The candida, again, are the your natural yeast fungi that you have in the gut, but they can overgrow, especially if you've been eating a lot of sugar. They like get excited, and then they pop, their populations grow, and then you can have bloating and just not feel very good, brain fog. And so when you start to starve the candida, you're going to have cravings. So you want to have, things on hand. I've talked about this before in various talks, but L-glutamine, and you just take one of the capsules, open it up when you're having a sugar craving or alcohol craving, and pour the powder under your tongue, and it dissolves under your tongue, and that way it gets in your system faster when you dissolve it sublingually under the tongue, and that helps reduce your sugar craving. Okay. Eat whole organic foods. It's another way to naturally detox. Eat whole foods. Exercise and sweat it out, because our skin is our largest organ, and we can release a lot of toxins and cleanse through sweating. Practice yoga. The yoga poses are designed to move stagnant energy, and that energy, that experiences that stuck energy, experiences pain or diseases or disorders or inflammation, can be moved through the practice of yoga, through breath work. So you can do just mindful breathing, but you can also do cleansing breathing, like the breath of fire, which is a rapid inhale and exhale, or Kapalabhati, skull shining breath, which is slower. It's a forceful exhale, passive inhale. So you can bring in a breath practice to cleanse, reduce your stress, take some things off your schedule, schedule some self-care time, get a massage, practice some guided meditations. There's plenty on YouTube, especially on my All About Woo YouTube channel. There's one in particular called Siesta Yoga and another one called Serenity Now. So those are both really great guided meditations for reducing stress. You can do dry skin brushing. Okay. It gets the lymph moving, and the lymph is our immune system mover. So you can just take a dry washcloth, or you can actually get like a brush to brush your skin, but I just use a dry washcloth, or I'll dampen it a little bit. And you do your limbs and you brush towards the heart. So go from the feet up towards the heart, back to the arms, and then down towards the heart. You can incorporate superfoods. Yes, high amount of nutrients in superfoods. That's where the super comes from. They're superfoods. So high nutrients and antioxidants. Antioxidants lower free radicals. Okay, and free radicals, when we have a lot of free radicals inside of us, they're stealing electrons from healthy cells and making those cells not function properly. Okay, so they steal those electrons and they can lead to inflammation, disease, etc., etc. Earthing, getting your feet on the earth, either on grass, soil, rock, cement. Those are conductors of the negative ions, that the earth is a natural source of negative ions, which help reduce free radicals. Okay, so they don't have to steal it from the healthy cells. They can, just have one of those, get oxidized. EFT, or tapping, emotional freedom technique, because we want to work on, when you're cleansing, you don't want to just like, I'm just going to eat this food or not eat this food. You want to treat your whole being. So incorporate that self-care time, do some guided meditations, do some emotional processing like journaling, or the tapping method, where you're tapping points. I like to do both sides of the body at once, but you could just do one at a time. But you have your brow points, and while you're tapping, say you're dealing with depression, and you're just talking about how you're feeling. I'm so frustrated that I'm still depressed. I have no energy under the eye. It just keeps going on and on. I just want to lay in bed all day, or watch Netflix and eat a bunch of sugar, collarbones. And so you're just talking about how you're feeling. And then eventually you say, and the bra strap under the armpit there, even though I'm depressed, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. And you just cycle through it as you're talking about it, and every once in a while you say that, even though this, I deeply love and accept myself. And it really does work. It's crazy. It works. You can use it for a number of different things. Get more sleep. That is a natural detoxer as well. Go to bed a little earlier, get more sleep. And when you're doing a cleanse, or if you're planning on doing a cleanse, you can add in certain supplements, herbal teas, herbs to assist with the release. Now, one of the precautions being that for some people, if you've never done a cleanse before, you wouldn't want to detox too rapidly. So you'd want to kind of tread lightly there and take it easy on your first cleanse. The length of time you cleanse can be completely up to you. Um, People recommend anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. Better yet is 30 to 90 days. Okay, I did basically an 8-month cleanse when I was healing all my diseases and disorders back in 2010. But within 8 months, I was completely clear of the 56 line items that my naturopath found going on inside me. No wonder I had no energy. No wonder I had no immune system. No wonder my hands and feet were always cold. I was always cold. It was no wonder my systems were just like at 10% or close to zero. I just was almost a corpse. So, so when I was detoxing, detox symptoms, you'll probably have some detox symptoms. Okay, they can feel like the flu sometimes. You can have dizziness. You may have low energy. You may have some nausea. You may have some elimination stuff, either, a lot of elimination, or you might be kind of locked up there. Um, let's see, you might have stuff come out your skin, rashes, or some itching. I've had, through a breath work practice of all things, I had some crazy stuff come out my skin on my rib cage and one of my thighs. Just this kind of patchy, scaly red stuff that came out. It was there, got better and better over a course of a few days, and then after a week it was gone. So we're releasing these toxins with food, with the breath, with hydration, with emotional release, emotional processing, cleaning up our inner environment, body, mind, and spirit. And you might see like coatings on your tongue, especially in the morning. You might have a lot of white junk on your tongue. That's why a tongue scraper or using a spoon is really helpful, and or doing that oil pulling if you can stand to do that, 5 to 20 minutes. You might have extra mucus. Okay, mucus, this is gross, guys, but mucus, like when we get a wound, if the wound gets infected, then pus forms. That's just dead. Pus is just dead white blood cells, okay, mostly. And so you might have extra mucus coming out. You could have fluctuations in your blood pressure. So you want to take it easy when you're doing a cleanse. Plan accordingly. Don't plan to run a half marathon while you're doing a cleanse, right? Um, don't plan to, maybe be on vacation or well, unless you're on retreat or something, but you want to have some control over what your food options are, right? So if you do it at home, maybe do a staycation and do it, or do it, weekend to weekend, and just do your best during the work week. Another precaution is going too extreme. Detoxing too rapidly and getting really sick. So when you get really sick like that, you'll be like, forget this, I can't do it. Not drinking enough water. You gotta drink lots of water on a cleanse. So I live in Texas. It's very hot here in the summer and in the spring and the fall, not so hot in the winter. But I've started carrying around a gallon jug of water. I fill it up in the morning and I drink. That's my minimum water for the day, and then I drink. I have other waters too, but I want to make sure I'm staying hydrated even when I'm not on a cleanse. Pre and post cleanse considerations when you're preparing for a cleanse. So it's best not to go cold turkey into your cleanse, meaning that start to reduce your caffeine intake, your sugar intake. Start to step things down. Don't eat like the night before your cleanse, your transformation cleanse starts, eating like a big greasy hamburger and fries and bowl of ice cream. And I mean, you can if you want to, but you'll have a food hangover in addition to starting to detox. So you want to set yourself up if you drink alcohol or use other, consciousness altering, mood altering substances. Now, if you're on prescription medications, you just stay on those. Just keep those as they are, right? Unless you're working with a medical doctor with this cleanse. But everything else that is optional that you use, you're going to be decreasing and going without it for a period of time. You're going to stop the use of it, maybe not forever, right? But for a period of time. And then when you come out of your cleanse, say you do a 1 week cleanse, you want to slowly start introducing things back in, right? You wouldn't want to eat like a big heavy meal when you come out of your cleanse, although it's tempting. So tread lightly when you come out of a cleanse, because you're going to be way more sensitive to foods than you realize. And so when you do have that cup of coffee, you're going to be like, pew, whoa, caffeine. Just those are some of the things that I've gathered over the years, some of the tips and tricks, the ins and outs of doing a cleanse. One final thing I will say is that doing a cleanse is much, much, much easier when you're doing it with somebody else. Okay? So when you can do a cleanse with somebody else, with at least one other person or a group, it makes it easier. Birds fly in formation for a reason, because it's easier. You ever see those birds flying in a V shape? The one at the lead is cutting through the air, doing the bulk of the work, and then they draft behind. Okay, so I'll be in the lead, and y'all can draft behind, and we'll do this together. It's gonna be super fun. We're starting Saturday, September 25th. And it follows the superfood nutrition program that I've been following since March of 2016, when I helped my husband Wes lose over 75 pounds and reverse his diabetes. I improved. I was having bloating and digestive problems. I was always having carried Gas-X and Tums with me. I was having seasonal depression pretty severely, and those left through this protocol. Okay, so it's a 30-day ultimate lifestyle transformation, and I'm gonna hop in the chat here and drop a link. Oh, we got lots of cool stuff. We got some people that are wanting to do a cleanse. Yeah, people have done cleanses before. Yeah. Kelly. Yeah, so let me see if I can type this in. It is a bit.ly link, bit.ly, L-Y, emerge, all lowercase, 2021. Bit.ly, I don't have my glasses on, emerge 2021. So that's going to give you an overview of the protocol, that the superfood nutrition program that we would follow during the Fall into Balance group transformation. It's fall, and we're just going to fall into balance nice and softly, gracefully, easily. And so the shakes, the power shakes, this is live dehydrated food. So it's like I juiced the vegetables and fruits. It's like I had a juicer and I juiced it, but I didn't spend $20 to make this. I spent $3 to make this. Okay, so live dehydrated superfoods. You can eat real food. We have a list, we have recipes. There's a schedule that we follow. There's a couple different options depending on if this is your first cleanse. We might have you do not, the accelerated one. If you've done cleanses in the past and you're ready for your seasonal fall cleanse, then you would do what's called the accelerated cleanse. Okay, so in any case, I invite you to have a free holistic health discovery session with me. Let me see if I can grab that link while we're live here. I love seeing your comments. Thank you so much for being here live with me. It makes it really fun to have y'all here live. Let's grab this appointment types. Where is it? Da, 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 da. There it is. Oh, I said 30-minute, but this is actually 40-minute. That'll work. Copy, paste. Now I just got to find where Facebook is. There we go. the magic of technology. So I invite you to consider joining, and if you just want to learn more about it, see if this is a good fit for you, schedule a holistic health discovery session with me, and it is holistic. So there's a little questionnaire that you fill out. I check in with you on your primary foods, other things going on, and then we hop on Zoom and have a session and see if it's a good fit for you or not. And for anyone that wants to do it, I do have gift cards available that save you over $100 on your 30-day supply of superfoods, shakes, protein, muscle in a bottle. Like, I don't work out that much, and that's from the superfood protein that I use. Supplement to heal the gut, to remove glyphosate from your gut, which is in Roundup, the weed killer Roundup. It's on 75% of the foods in the grocery store today. Can't be washed off or cooked off. Kills your healthy gut bacteria. And then the nighttime tart cherry drink, which is great for increasing melatonin and helping you get a good night's rest and reducing inflammation. So that's the basics of it. And then there's a couple other things in there too that you use to help you release the toxins. That is what I have for you today, my friends. And we're going to talk more about superfoods next week, different types of superfoods, things like that, what qualifies as a superfood. But I look forward to diving into the comments and interacting with you more. I'm not the best at multitasking, but I did see a lot of 4s and 8s when I scanned the chat there. So yay, so glad to see you all. Yay. Let's see, Patricia, Val, Ada, Krista. Oh, Krista's here. Oh, nice. Kimberly Love, Rachel, yay. Brittany, my mom, Miss Kelly. Who else? Sarah Jean. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in live, and I wish you the best today. I will hop in the comments and in the group and put that Zoom link for Saturday. That's where we're going to have a info session for the Fall Into Bounce group transformation. If there are people in your household, friends, family, they're like, oh, I should invite this person, invite them to join us. They are also eligible to receive a free holistic health consultation with me, so I can help guide them into the best experience possible. All right, namaste, y'all.